be like, hey, okay, lifted up my shirt. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. And hey, it's Lance McGowan here, and today I'm going to read off a Reddit post and react to someone who lifted up another person's shirt to put doTERRA oils on their back without permission. Okay? Well, what's that all about? Well, this Reddit post you can see here is titled, "The Hun Next Door Tried to Oil Me." So a little over-friendly neighbor, maybe? Well, let's see if they had good intentions indeed. Alright, so they say, "I lived at my current address for almost 6 years now, and the young family next door have been there the whole time. The dad will nod hello if he's outside when I'm coming home, but isn't talkative. In the 6 years since I moved in, the mom hasn't acknowledged my existence except the odd, dirty look for no reason that I can figure out. I'm quiet, keep the yard tidy, and give candy to her trick-or-treating kids at Halloween. I've had zero interaction with this woman. Recently, I've noticed a few doTERRA boxes in the recycling bin, and what I'm sure is a complete coincidence, the Ice Queen has thawed." Oh, so maybe she's warming up to the neighbor a little bit, or to her. Okay, well, we'll see. "She'll smile and say hi if I'm passing by while she's outdoors with the kids. She's even commented on the weather. I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop." Okay. "And this afternoon, it did. I went out to pull weeds from my driveway, stopping now and then to stand up and stretch my back, Yeah. She must have been watching for an opportunity because she came bustling out during one of my stretching breaks and hurried over with an oil roller containing the perfect blend to relieve back discomfort." Well, okay. The first things I'll actually say here is it's important to develop relationships with people and to see if they're open to natural solutions, they're open to using essential oils before you go kind of giving the solution. So those are a few different things that are kind of prerequisites to make sure it's a positive experience for both. But we'll keep reading and see what happened here. Alright, they said that no thanks. "I'm just stretching for a sec. It's all good. She kept waving the roller at me and explaining how these special molecules would soak right in to relax my tense muscles." Again, this person's not open, so yeah, she's basically overstaying her welcome. Okay? "And also, quiet the nerves in my spine." And then this person says, "What? No. Please leave my spinal nerves alone." I thanked her again for the thought, but oils aren't my thing. Okay, so she's clearly expressing a lack of openness. I would talk to the next person and move on. "And I knelt back down to keep weeding. Apparently that was the mistake. Uh-oh. She circled around and started to lift up my shirt to get at my back." Okay, that is a little too far, okay? Like, this person was clearly not open. Lots of, signs of that verbally, clearly, and physically, just not facing you, not wanting to continue. And then for this over-passionate, I'll say, person, wellness advocate or wholesale customer, to then do this is not just overstaying the welcome, but now overstepping the boundaries. I mean, okay, so this person then says, "Whoa, no. Do not pull my clothes aside to slap oil on me after I've refused it." I'd agree with her on this one. In what world is that okay? Well, I think the person applying it had good intentions, wanting to help, but again, it goes back to got to be open to natural solutions and open to using essential oils. Neither of that was established. And then she describes the type of situations where maybe this would be okay. So she says, "I am a walking Canadian stereotype, and B, painfully non-confrontational. So it takes a lot to break my politeness in public, but trying to oil me without consent will do it. My language turned salty. Police and assault charges were mentioned." Oh, snap, dang, she going a little far on this. "She retreated, but was very offended all the way back to her porch After all, she was just trying to be neighborly and I was refusing her kindly offered help. And how dare I threaten her and use that language when her kids might hear? She going in. Or she went in. I saw her again a bit later, and it seems we're back on non-speaking terms. I think I like her silent treatment more than her friendly oil advances. And then you can see, the comment section, which I'll have a link in the description below. You can kind of read some of these. These are always kind of interesting as well to kind of see different perspectives. For, against, mostly against, because this is an anti-MLM thread. But yeah, I think it's always important to have perspective, always important to look at things from both sides. I think the doTERRA person was very passionate. I just can kind of tell she had good intentions. I think there needed to be a little more pre-qualifying, as they put in the sales realm, of, again, building relationships. That's kind of just foundational. I mean, it sounds like the only time she was talking to her was to apply an oil, which, the other person was already, the neighbor was suspecting that. So, they're already kind of suspicious. So therefore you should build relationship, have, other conversations where essential oils, doTERRA, MLMs, business opportunity, none of that's even mentioned. It's just, hey, how are you? What are your kids' names? Do you have a husband? What's his name? What does he do? All the kind of, small talk things to kind of figure out what they do, the family, and then go from there. And then, find out if there's common interests, like what hobbies do they have? And that's part of building a relationship. You just kind of build rapport and just let them feel comfortable that you're a normal person who doesn't have a hidden agenda and is just there to help and potentially, listen for opportunities if they present themselves. And the only time I would really present this is if, number one, we were sitting down for a one-on-one, or I had a 15-minute wellness consult with them, and we were both, the intent was just to get to know each other, so they kind of know what the context of the conversation is. Or if it's a neighbor, you just get to know them if they're open to being, that. And then if you hear something, they're like, oh, my back, I'm pulling weeds all the time, and it always gives me a little discomfort. And then you can ask, hey, are you open to natural solutions? And they might be like, well, what are you talking about? And then you'd be like, have you used essential oils before? And they may say yes or no, and be like, hey, would you be open to trying some? And then that way it's more of a permission-based interaction where you're getting permission to not only know where they stand with all these things, and also see if they would like to try a sample. None of that was done, and so I would just say the doTERRA person would need more training. That would be my recommendation. And then on the other end, I think the other person, they got upset, and, obviously if you feel like your personal space and privacy is invaded, you might, blow a lid, or you might, tell somebody off, and use very choice words about, some of the things she was mentioned towards the end of this. And I can understand that on one end, but at the same time, there's still a way to be like, hey, okay, lifted up my shirt, I'm good, okay, I'm good, and I'm good, okay? I think that's cool. And you probably don't want to ever turn your back on them, and I think making sure the interaction, it's clear where you stand, and I think it was, again, the doTERRA person was a little overly passionate, had good intentions, but just didn't read the signs very well, and that's due to a lack of training, just from my assessment. And then the other person, I think, could have used some more respectful words, even when the other person invaded their space, because they had ultimately good intentions. It just didn't come across as welcomed, I would say. That's like if somebody, opens up a door for me and puts rose petals in front of me and then, like, touches my back to usher me in. I'm kind of like, that's really nice. I can tell you have, good intentions without you stating what your intentions are, just because you're very, welcoming in that regard. But we've never met. Do you have an ulterior motive? Those are the things that would be running through my head, like, what makes me special? Like, what's going on? Like, and so that would probably be it. And then if they touch me, I'd be like, okay, all right, that's nice, thanks, I appreciate it. And then if they hug me, I'd be like, all right, what's up? I'd be like, so again, I can understand where both people are coming from, but the doTERRA person needs to have an abundance mentality, and that, hey, there's plenty of other people out there who are open, but I also have to have the skills to be able to assess that and do so in a way that's natural and in a way that builds a relationship. And then this person, just to summarize, would need to just make sure that they're still trying to be as respectful as they can when they do feel that their personal space is invaded, because the other person wasn't trying to hurt them, they were trying to help them. So, all right, well, what do you think? Do you think that the doTERRA person went too far? Do you think that the person getting the application, did they respond, too harshly, or what? What do you think? Leave your comment in the section below. Otherwise, hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video and got some value out of it and maybe gained a little bit more perspective. Hit subscribe for future video updates, and I'll see you in the next video.